my programming engineers. Welcome back once more to this new communication section for drives. And now we are going to analyze in detail what communication in our frequency variators are for, or is for. So one of the most likely advantages is that we're going to save a lot of wiring, a lot of cabling, and have more automated processes, more certain. Now, why am I saying this? First off, our cable. Here we have many drives, PowerFlex 525s, that are connected in one communication switch for Ethernet IP. And simply put, we only use one only cable for each drive. So here, if we uncover our drives, we would see that they're already connected in their Ethernet port each. Okay, we have nothing else connected, or we have nothing connected on our direct or digital connections to our terminals. Okay, our terminals are empty. So here, we've not yet connected our potency part for our motor and our drive feed part. But this is something that we are unable to hide. So we have to connect them, or else, how else are we going to feed our motor? But on our control part, we can save it. And here we can actually see our image, how it would look. Now, what are some advantages that we have? Well, first off, all commands are going to go through this cable. Okay? Also, we can get some feedback in one only cable. So we can command, and we can also get this status. For example, we can know when our drive is starting up and when our drive is completely down. Now we can also know when we can clean up any faults, when we can remove some faults, and other things that we can do. Another advantage is that through our CCW software, which in this case is for Allen Bradley, we can configure, we can set up our parameters that we need, okay? Without the need of pressing our keys, looking for them in parameter by parameter, or every parameter. And that communication, where is that going to be headed to? It's simply going to be going out to our PLC, which that data, we could get it and we could receive it, and we could also send it out, which means that we can command our drive from our PLC. Now, what other advantages do we have? We can do this much more graphic for our operators. So what do I mean by this? If we have a network HMI together with our PLC, then in this case we can direct our, or through our screen, for data for our motor velocity to know if our motor is already started, or if there's any fault or something, etc. So that's why I'm saying that this has a lot of advantages. And also, logically, saving a lot of wiring, okay? Wiring where, you ask? In our terminals, okay? So if we wish to use our button cabinets, where would we be commanding them through? We would be commanding them through our buttons and our PLC inputs. But everything is already integrated. And our drive, we are basically going to leave completely clean. We're only going to be using our communication cable, wire. So which requirements are we going to need to start up and indicate our drive? All right, so I want to communicate with you. What do I need? we basically need 3 parameters, which we need to set up. First parameter is entering a drive IP address. If we don't have this identified on our drive, then it's going to be complicated that it communicates with our PLC, so we need a node. So second step, enter our motor velocity reference. It needs to be through communication, in this case through IP Ethernet. Third step, enter our startup reference or control reference. So we need to input on our drive. We need to select these parameters, but these are only 3 parameters. The rest of them are optional because if we're already configuring or setting up through communication, then we need to add our data plate through our software and not only through our digital parameters from our keyboard. Which means that I'm going to tell it, I don't actually need to command you drive, not even through our keyboard, which you've already integrated on your display. And also, I'm not going to set you up, or I'm not going to command your attack through external digital inputs. So now, I'm going to set you up, and I'm going to communicate to you through IP means. That's it. So in the future, we're going to run that setup. Now, be careful, guys. Beware. If at this point of the course, you do not know what an IP address is in our drive, or you don't know our Ethernet communication IP is, not even the most basic, I recommend that you guys get an industrial network course or PLC. We have both of those courses. The industrial network course, which came out the same time as this drives course. So therefore, it's already in our platform, and our full Allen Bradley PLC course, where I'm also teaching the right way for the IP Ethernet communication. If not, it's going to be very complicated that you understand this, especially because we're going to start setting up with our Software Studio 5000. If you were a student that does not have any communication notion, any knowledge, please check this out, and that way you can only check your IP in your drive. So having said all this, now let's set up our parameters and let's see how we can start up with our communication part. See you guys in our next video.